Welcome to a stormy afternoon, looking at the Flatirons in Superior, Colorado. And we are wrapping up another passive house here. This is going to be the Restore number 2 house with an incredible view. Of course, that's where the fire came to. Today, they're cleaning things up, getting ready to put the finishing touches in. And for me, it's ventilation day. So we're balancing the ERV today through this whole house. 3 stories, it's about 2,600 square feet. And of course, it always starts out with the ERV calculation. And so this is the list of the different rooms and the ventilation rate that we supply for each and every room. So extraction from the bedrooms, from the kitchen and for the bathrooms, and then fresh air for the bedrooms and for the living area. And of course, it's based on the PHPP energy model here. And these are the summary loads that we get kicked out for our recommended ventilation rates. So how do we do it? We start it off with one of these bad boys. Turn this on, and this can measure air from either coming in or coming out through. This goes over the duct. There's the big one, and there's an extension for one. I'll show you how it works. For instance, why don't we go over to this corner over here? This is supply air for the living room. This is fresh air for the living room. So if you're sitting right here, you're going to get air coming out. Right now it's showing about 25 CFM, 26 CFM, but it's actually more than that because I should use the larger piece, but we're really looking at about 27 CFM or so for this particular room, or for that corner. I have another 20 CFM or so for that room. And then for the bathrooms, what do we do? I'll go upstairs and show you how the bathroom works and give you a quick tour of the house. So it's a very tight lot, so everything's got to be squeezed in really well. Here's an example of what we'll do for, say, the laundry space. We'll ventilate this at a much lower rate, but you're still going to get about, it should be more than that. Okay, now it's going up. So just a little bit of air we need to take out of the laundry. Around 6.5, 7 is what it calls for a laundry room space. And in this case, it's just a closet. And for something like a bathroom, what we can do, this room is split. So of course, we have the shower in here, and the toilet. Then out here, a couple of sinks. And then on each side, we ventilate. On each side, and we're extracting air again on these units. So I'm going to split it between the two. And what we need is, for a code, we need at least 20 CFM continuous. And for passive house, it's recommended 24 CFM continuous. So we get 12 on each end, and we're good to go. So we have extraction over there, or fresh air over there, some fresh air over here in this corner. This is the fresh air for the bedroom. And then we have another one, and this one reads 0, or close to 0. And the reason is that this is going to be connected to a fan that terminates near the heat pumps. For instance, we have 2 mini splits in this house. We have a mini split right here. And that's 9,000 BTUs. And then we have one right in the living room. And then downstairs we have a bath fan that runs continuously into the upper bedrooms to help bring warm or cool air in when needed. And it's user adjustable by speed and on off by the occupants. Kind of another neat little fact of this house again is this incredible deck that we can walk out onto. You get a panoramic of Flatirons and the meadow. You see, we're the only deck in the neighborhood. All these houses are rebuilt. And this also, because we're facing west, we're getting shade. Very, very much needed shade in the summertime, especially in the fall time. And then I'll show you the hardest room here, which is the bathroom. So this is the furthest from the house. And it's a walk-in shower, and there's the bathtub there, and then again a separate toilet there, and then we ventilate from right there. So these two are the furthest from the unit. So this is kind of what I work on, is getting these up as close to or over 10 CFM on each side for code minimum. And I think we're at about 11 for each side. So we're running 22 CFM extraction for the master bath. So that's actually not bad. That's really close for passive house recommendations in overcode, and it's the furthest from the ERV unit. And I'm going to show you what the ERV looks like. Before I do that, why don't we go take one look into the rest of the type of neighborhood we're in. There's the other passive house we've been working on. Guys are out there wrapping up their Friday, talking things over, talking about how they want to come back on a Monday, but that house is just about done as well. And this entire neighborhood, brand new, 189 houses, I believe, burned in the Cameron Peak fire. Not the Cameron Peak fire, sorry, the Marshall fire. Cameron Peak is a different one that I know of. But let's go downstairs and check out the ERV unit, which is the heart of a passive house. Is the fresh air ventilation heat recovery unit, and it's also empathy units. That means that we are getting our moisture, our vapor, back into the house. I believe it's rated up to 70% humidity recovery. Colorado, especially in the wintertime, boy, does it get dry. So the more humidity we can recover, the better. We like to be at least 30%, preferably around 35 to 40%. And here's the unit we're using. This is called a Brink Flare. This is the 400 unit. It's the slightly larger size. This house is pretty good size, 4-bedroom. I think it's about 2,700 square feet. So we're looking at a little bit more volume to deal with in a house like this. And right now it's set at 255 cubic meters per hour. Was that in CFM? I think we're around 140-ish or so CFM that we're exchanging. And then we can boost up probably near 200 or so, maybe even a little bit more than 200 CFM when we go into boost mode. So pretty cool unit. It's easy to program. It's easy to change your individual flow rates. It's easy to put on and change frost protection, other things like that. It comes with 2 filters. This filter is for the fresh air going out from outside. And what happens with this unit, this air filter, is that it's a kind of a, I believe, like a MERV 8. So it's going to do mostly particulates from the outside, pollen, smoke, anything like that, it takes care of. And then on the other side, it's just kind of a more flimsy filter, but this is just to protect the core in the motor from all the dust inside the house, and this is washable. While this one's not washable, you have to replace this bad boy. The other kind of cool thing that we can do is we can do something called bypass mode. So when the house is 24 degrees and the outside temperature is less in Celsius, which is mid 70s, 75 degrees, this will go into what we call bypass mode. So it's going to take fresh air from the outside that's colder, and it will bypass the heat recovery core and go straight into the house. So at nighttime, especially in the summertime, we're going to be able to get free cooling, essentially, when the house gets over 75 degrees. So that's a really cool option, very easy to program, no muss, no fuss. And then quickly, what does distribution look like? We have to insulate these pipes out here. And then inside we go to distribution, and each one of these runs go to those individual ducts. There are silencers built into this as well. So the unit's extremely quiet. You won't hear a thing, but you'll feel fresh air all day and all night. It's one of the great things about Passive House, and why we love to talk about the indoor quality of living in one.